morning and welcome to our Challenger Connection. I'm Commander Jennifer.
And I'm Sydney.
And today we are going to make and launch a bottle rocket. So we are going to be building on some things that you learned with Commander Melissa last time. If you remember in her activity, she used baking soda and vinegar. And when she mixed those two together, it makes a chemical reaction. And do you know what it gives off?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide gas. So you saw her do that, and she actually put out a candle with that carbon dioxide gas. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to use that same chemical reaction, and we are going to launch a rocket, hopefully. So hopefully all goes well. So the things that you're going to need for this activity, you're going to need an empty 2-liter bottle. If you don't have a 2-liter bottle, you can do this on a smaller scale, so you could use like an empty water bottle. That would be okay too. So you need an empty bottle. For doing baking soda and vinegar, obviously you need vinegar and baking soda. And we've got a tablespoon in here because that's what we'll be using to measure our baking soda out with. We've got a funnel so that we can put our vinegar into our bottle a little neater. And then we need some landing legs for our bottle, so we'll see that in a minute. So I've just got some colored pencils here. If you don't have colored pencils, regular pencils, any kind of object you could use to put on the sides of your bottles for some landing legs, for some launch pad legs is what you need. And then to hold those on, we have some tape, and you need some scissors, and then you need a piece of paper towel. So first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to attach your legs onto your bottle. Now this is going to be the bottom of our rocket. So we're going to attach them here, and Sydney already did this earlier. So we've got one made here. So we put those 3 legs on here. We just attached them with our duct tape here so that they would be launch pad legs to support it. So this was kind of trial and error for us. We had to kind of mess with this to get them even so that it would sit evenly when we're ready to launch it. But notice how we have that, those colored pencils are hanging down below the bottom of our bottle. So we don't have it flush even with that. We've got it hanging down a little lower than the bottom of the bottle there. And once you've got your legs attached, then you can put in your vinegar. So we've got our funnel here, and I'll let you pour that and I'll hold it. Now we don't really have a set amount of vinegar that we put in here, just a little, probably a little less than half of the bottle, the 2-liter bottle. That's probably good right there. All right. So we've got that part done. I'm just going to put the lid on this for now, just in case we accidentally bump it over. And then the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a packet for our baking soda, because we don't want to put that in there right now. So if we were to put it in there right now, what would happen? It would react, and we don't want to do that in the house. Your mom and dad probably would not be very happy with that. And you definitely probably want to have their supervision doing this activity, just to be on the safe side. So we've got our vinegar in there. Now we've got to make our baking soda packet. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so we've got our baking soda, and Sydney's got a tablespoon. And she's going to put about 2 tablespoons there in the middle. She's going to kind of spread it out a little in the middle. So we used about 2 tablespoons with ours. Now here's the tricky part. You want to make this into a little packet. So you want to roll it up kind of like a hot dog. So she's going to fold that around the baking soda and roll it up, because you need this to be thin enough that it'll fit down in your bottle when you're ready to launch it. But you don't want the baking soda to come out, so she's going to fold over the ends there. And we took that paper towel and we actually took one paper towel and put it in half. We took the 2 layers apart because it needs to be permeable. It needs to be where that vinegar will be able to get into that paper towel easily. And I was afraid our paper towel might be a little bit too thick for that. So it was a double layer paper towel. I just took 1 layer away. So she's got that all folded up and we are just about ready to take it out and launch. All right, so now that we have our baking soda packet made, now we would take this all outside. So what you're gonna do when you take this outside is you are gonna have to take your baking soda packet and you're gonna have to put it down inside your bottle very carefully, and that's why we wanted to make it kind of skinny so it would fit down in there. But the key thing we have to have a cork. So as soon as you get that baking soda packet put in there, you're gonna put this cork down in your bottle. Why do you think we need a cork?
So it can pop out.
Right, because if we were just to mix our baking soda and our vinegar and turn it over, sure, it's gonna have a reaction, but is it gonna have enough force to lift off the rocket? No. So when we start that chemical reaction and all that carbon dioxide gas gets moving around, it keeps expanding and it wants to go somewhere. And if you have an opening there, guess where it's gonna go? Right out of it. But if you have it corked, what will happen is that pressure will keep building and eventually it'll make what pop out?
The cork.
The cork, right? And when the cork pops out, then all the force from that cork popping out is gonna push down, and its opposite reaction is it's gonna make the rocket go up. So Newton's 3rd law of motion, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So the force is gonna push down, it's gonna make the rocket go up. Now, we had a trial and error of this when we did it. The first cork we tried to use wasn't tight enough. So you may want to try that at home too. Before you get your vinegar in here, you may want to try it with some water. We didn't do that at first. We lost some vinegar and baking soda. So you may want to try your cork out to make sure it's going to be tight enough. And you don't have to shove it down in there super far, just enough that you have a good seal in there. All right? Are we ready to launch? So we had a successful launch. It went pretty far in the air. So hopefully you try this out, and you may have noticed we had on some sunglasses. I had on sunglasses for some eye protection. So you definitely want to have something covering your eyes just in case, just for safety. And again, get your parents' permission to do this activity and probably have them supervise you while you're doing it. So this was our last Challenger Connection video. So I want to thank Sydney for being my sidekick here and helping me with all these videos. And hopefully you tune in next week for our Ask an Astronaut session where we are asking Colonel Terry Wilcutt some questions about his trips to space. So I'm Commander Jennifer.
And I'm Sydney.
Over and out.